Hey everybody, Scott here. While I'm in between projects or waiting for my next project to arrive, which I'll explain in a little bit, thought we'd take a look at something that arrived at my house while I was recently on vacation. And this was brought to me by a subscriber and also a neighbor who likes to go to garage sales and antique stores and things like that, and has always told me, hey, I always see vintage TVs. Do you want me to pick them up? And my response to that was, well, if you can buy it for 20 or 25 bucks, by all means, please do. Just make sure that you look in the back and that there's actually a chassis in the set and tubes and things like that, because it doesn't really matter what is brought home. Usually can salvage $20 to $25 worth of parts, harvest tubes and things like that to make it not that big a deal if it's a set that's not restorable. But he had watched my last restoration series that I had on the RCA 14-inch TV from 1958. And this is a set, I don't know the model number, hopefully we can find out what it is, and I'll tell you why I don't know what it is in a minute. But it looks to me to be from 1958, 1959. It is the 17-inch version that RCA was producing at that time of the tabletop. You can see here, it's RCA Victor. And this is the deluxe model. And by that, I think they mean that it obviously has a bigger picture tube, and then also you can see here it has the UHF option. So it's a lot like the 14-inch set that I worked on recently. The only thing is the contrast and volume is kind of switched back and forth. It does have the gold bezel, and then this two-tone cabinet. It's kind of dark blue and cream colored, and it's got some dents in it up here, but it's got the carrying handle. And then when you look at the back of the set, that looks eerily familiar to me, the printed circuit board. Okay, and just quick glance at looking at that, it doesn't really look like there's been a lot of work done to that. Not like the last one that I worked on. And then the layout is similar. The high voltage box, flyback, rectifier tube, the horizontal output tubes in a little bit of a different position, as well as the damper. And then this looks like a filter choke. I'm not sure. That was not on the top side of the other chassis. Horizontal hole controls in the same spot. So are the other two user controls. The let's see, this is brightness and this is vertical. And then you can see here, there's the VHF tuner, and then the addition of the UHF option. That one tube tuner there to convert UHF signal to VHF passed through here. And then there's a couple of filter caps. Those are a little bit different. And you can see here, this picture tube is a little bit unusual. It looks just like a normal tube base. And this is the 17 CDP4 picture tube. It's a 110 degree deflection angle tube, much like you'd find in a Predicta. A lot of the manufacturers were trying to use those types of tubes back in this time period so that they could make these sets a little bit smaller. You know, a normal 17-inch tube, the neck would probably stick out to here and add quite a bit of size to the set. So they were using these 110 degree deflection angle tubes. The only problem is they were not very good, which is why I'm not thinking this set's going to be a viable candidate to be restored unless I can locate one of those tubes. Now I have not checked it yet. We're going to take this chassis out and pull the tube out and take a good look at this thing and make sure that we know it can't be, or it's not a candidate to be restored. And to be honest with you, I'm not really excited about getting in another one of these PCB boards like was on that 14-inch set. Speaker's a little bit different here. This is connected to the cabinet and disconnects from the chassis. And just the overall layout on the 14-inch set, the cabinet kind of surrounds the chassis and connects. It looks like this chassis will slide out the front in one piece. So there is a tube chart in there. I can't see it very good right now, and I've looked for the model number on that and I can't find it. And the reason that I don't know what model number this set is because generally the model number is located on the bottom. Okay, and you can see here I still have the label, but right where the model number is gone. So I don't really know what the exact model number is. I'm sure I can probably get online and see a set very similar to this and get close. But just from the way it's built, it's got to be 57, 58, 59, somewhere in there. And I don't know, I can't really tell on that tube chart. It might be in there in small print, but I'll be able to look at it better once I get the chassis out. What I want to do now is just see if we've got continuity through this set. It is a series strung set, so we can turn it on and see if we've at least got continuity. When we turn this set on, we should get just a few ohms of resistance. So I'm going to turn it on. Yeah, we got nothing. So there's a couple things. There could be bad tube in there. The last set that I had, the 14-inch set, had a fusible resistor. If that fusible resistor is fried, we won't be getting continuity. Oh, well, it might help to put the picture tube cap back on. See if that'll help us out here. Bonehead move. Yeah, we're still not getting anything. Yeah, short of that on-off switch being completely bad and fusible resistor in there that could be fried out, we should get some sort of resistance reading, and I suspect it might have something to do with this tube. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm just not real confident this tube's going to have any emission or life on it at all. But we'll see. I'm going to pull it out, get the tube out, and get the Simcore CR70 out, and we'll check this tube and take a closer look at this set. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay guys, back on this RCA 17-inch time waster project. I've got it disassembled, and I've got that 17 CDP4 out, and got the chassis pulled and on the bench so you can get a quicker look at this. And the closer I'm looking at this, the more I'm like, boy, this would be a challenging restore. The good news is it doesn't look like there's been much work done on it. Looks like a lot of original tubes, but it also looks like a high hour set. And if that CRT doesn't test good, the odds of getting one of those is probably about 0.5%. In other words, pretty remote. If somebody had one of those tubes, they'd be using it for a smaller predictor or whatever, not this set. Which is a shame, because I kind of like the looks of this set, and I think it would be kind of fun to dive into this at a later time. Like I said, I have another project scheduled. It'll be an Admiral chassis that I'll be recapping for a friend. It's due to be here today, and it'll come in a box, and I hope it makes it well, and that'll be for another video, and we'll open that up and look at it together. But for now, looking at this chassis, it's kind of interesting. Looks like there could be a couple of caps replaced. That guy could be a replacement. He looks like a replacement. I don't think they were using any turquoise caps back then. And this guy's kind of suspicious, but he also could be original. A little coil right there is just hanging loose. That's not good. But this circuit board definitely looks very familiar to me. The only difference between this one and that 14-inch set that I just worked on is this tube right here. This tube is in here for the UHF to work, but a lot of these black beauties in here, man, that's a tedious task getting those out and getting those replaced, which they most surely would have to come out. So, and then the underside of the chassis. Wow, this thing has never seen the light of day. And the way this chassis came out of the set, it's no wonder why. But you can see there's not a cap replacement in here. Still got selenium rectifiers. Those very well could be bad too. If I were to restore it, I'd have to put modern silicone in there. Diodes. This is a main B+ filter cap right here. That would have to go, but I can't even tell what some of these wax caps are. I don't know where this TV was at, but it's got a lot of dirt and grime in here. Don't have a schematic for it, but I'm not going to get one, I don't think. Yokes, typical crusty that you would expect, but yeah, doesn't look like anybody's really been in here on the underside. And then this cap here could be a replacement. This Malloy cap. That's more than likely a replacement, but a lot of these tubes look original. But some of them could be just because, I mean, I'm saying that because they're just so dirty, and some of them are pretty black, but I don't know. If worse comes to worse and that tube doesn't test, I can pluck these tubes out. I'm sure some of these tubes are good. So it'd be worth the $20 that was spent on this set. Especially if there's a 1X2 rectifier tube in there, I could always use that. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is get the CR70 out and get that picture tube up on the bench, and let's test it. Okay guys, moving on with the time waster. Got the 17 CDP4 hooked up to the Syncor CR70, and we've got it at 8.3 volts filament, and I'm not seeing any life out of that filament. but just for fun, let's run through it. Shorts, G1 shorts, cut off, absolutely no one home, and emission. Absolutely nobody home. So this tube is gone. It's dead, which probably means the rest of the set is dead. I'll never find this picture tube. CRTs are so scarce as it is now. To find this one would just be almost impossible. So it's a shame. I always like to try to save all of them, but you can't do it. So I'll end up harvesting the tubes, maybe try to get that flyback out of there, see if that's good. Who knows, somebody may need one of those flybacks. Put the knobs in the knobs bin and get anything else that I might be able to use, and dispose of the rest. So anyway, it's a nice little time waster project while I'm waiting for the next restoration to arrive today, which I'll probably start filming with an unboxing tomorrow. So anyway, if you wasted 15 minutes of your life watching my time waster project in this video, I appreciate it. And talk to you guys later. All right, see you, bye.